spinning it all round. Oh, for some reason it's not letting me turn my phone round, which means you're going to get a really weird view. So sorry about this. We are going to get there. Let's see if that is working. I just want to update on my computer. A few minutes to get straight and organised. No, is always better. Right, it says that we're live, but oh yeah, there you go. It's all working super, and it is long and thin, which I don't really want. But I don't think I've got any choice because for some reason my phone is misbehaving. So we are going to get started. So I'll just move everything over because at least with the live I can see you in front of me. Perfect. Okay. So what's happening with us today is we're making a 3-dimensional journal cover. And I need to turn that volume off because we're obviously getting echo. Right, there you go. That should be better. Now I should be able to see it and not hear it. Now, so what have I got? I've got 2 dead, rather sad looking roses. They were given to me for either my birthday or Mother's Day or something like that. I've got 1, 2 odd bits of lace. I've got some net. I've got 2 different pieces of cotton. This one is actually a linen, not cotton. It's been coffee dyed, and this is a cotton. Okay. I've got this other odd bit of sheer fabric. Oh, you see these roses are falling apart. And I've got, these are obviously not real pearls, these are cheap pearls. So any old piece of jewellery that you would require. I have got 2 book boards. Now you could use the cereal boxes, or you could use, you know, any card that you've got, the back of a design pad or anything like that. And then I've just got a piece of corrugated cardboard, probably Amazon packaging. I've got a packet of recycled paper. Now you can use any paper you like, obviously, but the reason I like this paper is because if you look closely, it's got flecks in it where it's recycled, so it's very interesting. So I've got a pack of that I'm going to use very much later, and obviously I've got coffee dyed papers that I'm also going to use very much later. I have got some printed papers. These actually come from Scrimping Mummy that I may use for the inside, I may not. And then I have got trusty book pages. Okay, so trusty book pages. Now I'm using big ones here, as you can see, because I want to be able to cover round my card. And I've also got some plaster of Paris, which means obviously I've got a jug of water, and I've also got a coffee jar, a fork and a bowl. And to my side I've got my usual scissors, rulers, glue, etc. Now the first thing that I want to do, and you'll see I've covered my desk in the bid that we won't, you know, have to scrub the green mat at the end of the day. Now the first thing I want to do is I want to cut my covers to the size that I want them to be. So we are going to start with, oh for goodness me, we're going to start with metal, ruler and a knife. Now I would like to have 9 by 6. Okay, so putting my ruler on, let's mark our 9, slide it along a little bit, mark our 9 again. Now I am aware that there's going to be a lot of things that I'm doing that people who have journaled for some time don't need to know. But I wanted to do the whole process from start to finish, and I wanted everybody to be able to do it. Now I appreciate there may be some things that I'm using that you don't have, and that's why all the way through I'll try to give you alternatives. So it's now 9 high, and I would also like it to be 6 wide. That gives me a good space for my papers. Now you'll notice I'm talking about the front cover. We will obviously also cut the back cover to the same size shortly, but we will not be cutting a spine because our spine is going to be fabric. I mean, obviously we're going to cut it, but not from card. Okay, I'll cut this up. And I'm also aware that a lot of people are at work and won't be able to be here during, you know, the working day. So I will be saving this so that it can be replayed at any time. Now I'm just going to draw around this one. So there, 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 and there. So it can be replayed at any time. I'm also aware that the people that are with me on the live are not necessarily going to want to be with me all the time. They may only have a spare half an hour or an hour to pop in which case they can then watch the bits they've missed in the saved recording. That's the whole idea. Okay. Right, I'm chucking everything on the floor. I hope Boo doesn't come down and start trampling over stuff. So there you go, we've got our 2 book covers. I'm going to start by covering them both in book page. Okay, now obviously I'm lucky to have these very large pages. So I've got one there. Doesn't really matter what's on them because I'm going to put so much stuff on the front that we're not really going to see it, but we do want the back one to be just words. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is glue this paper to this board. So glue stick, and just apply this on. As I say, there are going to be lots of things that I do that if you have made journals before you really don't need to see, but I don't want to jump in and out. I want the whole thing to run, you know, together. So I'm just going to pop that on, move this for a minute, and now we're going to roll it round. long side first. I always do the long sides first, as I've shown you in many videos. Okay. And then if you just lift that up and fold that like that, lift it up, fold it like that, okay, and then that one will roll over like so. If your glue's dried out from where we did it a little while ago, just re-glue. Okay, up, because they're vintage book pages, they do sometimes want to bend their own way. Just show it who's boss. Okay, and roll that over. So that is the outside of our front cover. Okay, because it's got the big picture on and we don't want a picture on it. Now the back one, we need to make sure that we put down the picture side so that we only get the words on the back. Now, as much as I'm here from now until 3 o'clock, we will obviously be having some breaks for coffee, stretch your legs and lunch. So I'm thinking that we will stop around 11:30, so we'll be here for about an hour and a half, and then we will have a 15-minute break, and then we'll carry on until, oh, see, I didn't do this side, did I? And then we'll carry on until lunchtime. We'll have a half-hour break, and we'll come back and carry on, and then we'll have another coffee and stretch leg break before we finish at 3 o'clock. If we get everything done, we may finish before 3. If we don't, then obviously we'll be here till 3. We'll just be here till it's done, basically. Okay, and this is a back cover with all the words. Slightly skew with, doesn't bother me because it's all part of what we're doing. Right, so I've got my coffee jar and I'm going to make up my plaster of Paris. Now, if you haven't got plaster of Paris, because I want everybody to be able to do this, you can use cheap children's white glue and PVA. Okay, so if you haven't got plaster of Paris, you can mix those two together. The only reason that we are using the plaster of Paris or the paint and glue, right, I want to make sure that I've got enough that the whole of the head of the rose goes in, and I think that's enough. The whole reason we're doing that is because, look, these are dead and I'm just moving around on my table and bits are falling off. We don't want bits falling off the front of our journals. We want our journal cover to be nice and solid and set. And of course the plaster of Paris will set very firm. So just can't get the opening open, if that makes any sense. Can't get the opening open, so I'm just going to trim across here. Now I can't see I think I can see comments hiding in the background. So close that. Yes. Hello, Calm Creations. Hello, Lynette. It's lovely to have you both with me. There you go. I can see comments. Perfect. So that's all good. How are you both? I can see that Calm Creations, sorry about the noise, is on the Gold Coast. I bet you've got glorious weather there. What's it like with you, Lynette? It's actually quite sunny and dry here today. Need to make sure that obviously it's all getting mixed in and that you're not... Right, I'm going to take that fork out there because it's making so much noise, and I'm going to use my paintbrush because it'll be quieter and it's going to sweep any powder off the bottom. I'm just going to put it all in. I mean, this is remains of an old project anyway, so it's not a new packet. Right. Okay, so I've mixed that up and I'm going to bring in the front cover. So this is the front cover, and I want to use some of this. So I'm going to do a snip and tear this across. Okay. Now that I want to do this with on there. So I'm going to take my paintbrush out. I'm going to stuff this. We are going to get messy. I did warn you. I'm going to stuff this in here so that it's all covered in the plaster of Paris. Okay. I'm going to use my fork to pick it out. Squeeze out any excess water. Okay, and I've got a little bowl to the side here, so I'm going to put it in that bowl, and I'm going to take some PVA glue. Oops, this is just clear PVA glue, and I'm going to give it a good splodge. Okay, so I'm using my finger to spread it out. Okay, and then I'm going to open out my fabric. You can see it's got the plaster of Paris on it, and I'm just going to put this down in that PVA like so. Okay, so we've got all this scrunched up mess, and just rearrange it so that it's how you want it to be. When you're happy, look at Stately, when you're happy that it's where you want it to be, I'm now going to start building up some layers. So I want some of this lace. Okay, and again, clear PVA, plenty of it. Okay, you can't have too much glue in this scenario. Okay, and again I'm gonna do a scrunch with this lace. All I want to do is make sure, well, it's netting, not lace. I want to make sure that it's all sort of within the page. So I've got the fabric and then the netting. Okay. Because we're going with layers, I now want to bring in some of this lace. So I'm just going to have a little look, and I'm going to trim down here. As you can see, I'm being very rough. Normally I would sit and delicately cut around these flowers. That's not what I want for this project. What I want for this project is this different layer. Yep. So more glue. There's no such thing as too much glue for today's project. Find your lace and bring that in and lay it on there as well, like that. Okay, and then I've got this gorgeous antique lace. Now I'm going to be a little bit more careful with this because it is antique, and I want to obviously do it some justice. If you're looking for beautiful items like this actually came from, is it Betty and Ivy or Ivy and Betty? I will link them below anyway. So we're going to get a little bit more glue. As you can see, really heavy on the glue today. And I'm popping that one on there, like that. Okay. So at the moment, what we've got is 1, 2, 3, 4 layers of varying colours. Okay. And this will dry nice and stiff because of the plaster that's in it. And just lift it up and pop it down according to where you want it. Okay. Now, my plaster is starting to separate, so just give it a good stir. I'm going to take my knife because I don't think I've got any scissors strong enough, and my board, and I'm going to cut down this rose. Now I'm going to cut it just below that bottom set of leaves, so that that will sit just like that across there. Okay, now I'm going to put my rose, no, it's not going to fit. I hoped it would fit in the neck of that jar. It's obviously not going to, so we'll tip it out into here. Okay, and I'm just going to cover this in the plaster. Okay, it would have been easier if I could have fitted it in the neck of the jar, but it's just not going to work. And as you can see, it's all getting plaster on it. Okay, now here we go again with our glue. So this board is obviously getting very heavy, and part of the reason it's so heavy is because it's wet. Once it dries, it'll be better. And then I'm just going to pop that rose right across the middle like that, and that's in that glue. Okay, and then I'm just going to keep going with my plaster, because I want it all to set. Okay, and obviously there are curves in the leaves, so you can see it's sitting there. Just sort of bat it away. And I'm just holding this down because obviously I want it to sit in that PVA that we popped down there. Okay, can you see that's lifting up at the moment? So we'll take advantage of that, and I'm going to feed my pearls down and through, and I'm going to lay that bit. I want to turn it over because you can see where these are artificial beads or pearls. Some of the coating that makes them look like pearls has actually rubbed off. And I'm going to put that there like that, and then we're just going to keep going with that. Okay, if you feel like it's not sitting high enough, bring your fabric, readjust your fabric around it like that. Okay, a little bit maybe under there. You can fiddle with it as much as you want while it's still in this setting stage. Right, and then I'm going to pull up my plaster again, and I'm going to go over my pearls. Not all of them, just parts. And it's going to go into that lace as well. And that's fine, because this is, you know, forgotten memories or released from Grandma's attic, something like that. Okay, so we want to see some that are, you know, pearly, but then also we want to see where some are joining in with that rose and all like becoming one. And also that's going to aid it obviously sticking together. And obviously I'm leaving the little diamond-esque clasp separate. Okay, and then just to make sure that the plaster and the pearls work together, I'm just going to go through here. I'm going to add some more of the PVA, and then I'm just going to put more plaster over the PVA because we don't want you know, big shiny globs. So okay, I feel like our work here is almost done. I'm going to spin it round, make sure that I'm right in this rose. Okay, that's what I want to make sure of. We're right down there. Now, before we consider putting this over to dry, we just want to give it a good look. Make sure that you've got in all those nooks and crannies. These are all the things that are going to make it nice and firm when it dries. You can see the plaster filling the lace holes and just adding more and more interest. Okay, there we go. I believe that that's looking good. And obviously the reason that we've done this first is to make sure we've got drying time. Just if you see any other areas that you feel need more, put more. Once the water comes out of this, it will be quite a lot lighter, so that'll be fine. You can see where the plaster is now. You can start to see. Okay. There we go. So I'm just going to lift this off so this can start to dry, and we work on our back cover. And slide that away and hope that I don't end up standing on it. Now, on our back cover, what I'm going to do, so I only used one rose in the end, I didn't use the second one, is I've got this piece of corrugated card. It's a bit too rectangular for me at the moment. So I think sometimes, you know, all of the interest is furnished on the front cover. People don't often, you know, offer any super interest to the back. So where is the back? Sorry, where's the end of the netting? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this. I don't want that straight edge that's down there, so I'm just going to try and mix that up a bit. That's much better. This is holy lace, net, not lace, that's been, you know, found from Grandma's attic or whatever it is. Where's my paintbrush? I'm just going to rinse my paintbrush off in the spare water that was. Okay, so PVA, and I'm just going to spread this all the way down like that. Because my paintbrush was quite wet, it would have slightly diluted the PVA. Bring that back up, twist, down, twist, down. So we've got this sort of different kind of mess on the back to the one that we had on the front. Okay, gonna just pat it down with some PVA. Make sure that's stuck. Again, don't want any of this coming off, but we do like the ruffles and the folds of it. This is going to eventually sit in the middle there, but before it does, I want a little piece of this, only a little piece, because I also want to use this for something else. Okay. So we've got a piece of that linen type fabric, and we've got this. Okay. So PVA this. You don't need the extra bit of net. Just damp my brush. That's going to help semi-dilute the PVA. I'm going to pop that on there like that. Pick this up. Add extra, glue on there. And that is going to sit on there like that. Now obviously we don't want the back cover to be as dimensional as the front cover was, so I don't want to, just covering that up because that's got sticky, I don't want to put another rose on there, but we have got more lace, so I'm going to bring in this piece of lace here, get my very expensive and beautifully sharp scissors out of the way. I don't want them ruined. Right, get rid of that. And get rid of this bit. And then this is going to sit about there. Again, I'm using PVA. You can obviously use a fabric glue if that would make you more happy, comfortable. I'm good with my PVA. Okay. Okay. And then we're going to have a piece of this beautiful stuff. Where do we want? I feel like mustn't have a straight line. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut across the middle here, like this, and then cut up there like that, so we get this sort of divot, and then that one is going to sit there like that. So and then right on top of all that, to finish it off, I'm going to find one of those photographs that I aged the other day. Are we going to use Grandma? Those children I think are a little bit too modern, so yes, we'll use this one. And this very demure looking lady could be Grandma. So lift that back up, get our PVA right across the back there, get this covered and stuck, I think, there, like that. You'll remember I covered these, if you saw that video, you'll remember I covered these in PVA A, to strengthen them, and B, as part of the aging process. Right, and I'm just going to continue that PVA all the way, like so. And I'm quite happy with that cover. Bearing in mind, this is for the back, this is not for the front. Now, if you use a matte medium rather than PVA, because I know some people like to do that, you will still get a little bit of movement because the matte medium is flexible, whereas PVA isn't. But I'm good with that. I'm good with that for two reasons. One, currently don't have any matte medium because I used it all. And B, this PVA is going to give us a bit of a sealant. Okay, so that is the start of our back cover. So we've got our front and our back covers done. And we are in a bit of a mess. The beauty of these recycle bags is, of course, they've got quite a big gusset, so you can, what can you do? You know, you can keep opening the gusset and pushing it back and so on and so forth. Right, now I'm not doing anything messy at the moment, so I'm going to roll all of that up and come back to my desk area. Okay, now this fabric here I'm going to use for our spine. So what I want to do is I want to create quite nice, I'm going to go 5 centimetres, which is about 2 inches. Doesn't have to be exact. So you want quite a strong fabric. Okay, just while I'm using this linen. Okay, and I'm going to go 5, 10, 15, about 16 centimetres. I'm going to snip it because I want the raggedy edge. Okay, like that. And we're going to use 2 pieces in 3 places to make our spines. So I think this is about 4 inches. I think we'll be okay. And yes, this is the same fabric that I was wiping my plaster hands on, so that is going to help add excuse me, a little bit of additional strength. Okay, again I'm going to cut it in half, just make sure that these are, yep, basically the same size. So there's another one, that's 2. And then this is our 3. Because when I put the journal inside, I'm basically going to be doing a double 3-hole pamphlet stitch, and obviously I'll show you what that is when we get there. So there's our spine. Doesn't look much like a spine at the moment, does it? We've got 2, 2, 2. So that's that. I'm going to set them to one side, ready for later on. I'm now finished with all of these fabrics, so I can get rid of all of those. And now I'm going to bring up my papers, and I want 5 signatures of 5 papers, and I'm going to use these, and I'm going to use these. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 3s and 2s. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Put them down. So this is a 3, so it needs a 2. This is a 2, so it needs 1, 2, 3. This is a 3, so it needs 1, 2. This is a 2, so it needs 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. That doesn't feel right. 1. Oh, okay. 2, 3. And then this is a this is a 3, so it needs 2. Okay. Now, as always, I'm going to fold them exactly in half. Now, normally you'd use all sorts of decorative papers and the like. I don't want to do that with this journal because I want it to be all about the cover. Also, it allows for a lot of flexibility when the pages are plain. It can then be a writing journal or an art journal or even a photo album. So, folding all of these in half. So, I'm going to go, we've got 3, haven't we? So it'll be coffee, cream. Oh, coffee and cream. Coffee, cream, coffee, and that will be signature number 1, and then we're going to go coffee, not coffee, cream, goodness me. This coffee dyed paper is just 80 gram copy of paper. I feel that once it's been coffee dyed and baked, it gives me a very nice texture and thickness for a journal. This is actually 120 gram paper. Whoops, so it's much thicker. So again, it's adding interest to our journal that we've got not only different colours but different textures and different weights. Okay, so signature 1, signature 2. And because we've gone alternates with 3s and 2s, it means that we're going to get our signature covers different as well. So I'm not very talkative, am I? Just crafting away. Obviously happy to answer any questions that anyone might have. Okay. I'm going slightly off the centre. So I'm all on my own today with Bo. Hubby's off out at meetings. He hasn't actually left yet, but that's why I thought, you know, he's usually out on a Thursday, so it made it a good day to be doing this with not many interruptions. I'm not expecting any parcels, so that's all good. Shouldn't be anyone knocking on the door or disturbing us. Had a really busy week. Monday, I don't know if I've told you all of this, but Monday I was busy doing pickles and things for Christmas with my youngest. Tuesday I was with the lovely Denise. We really craft together, we just talk about crafting and ideas, you know, talk about ideas for new mates and things. Then yesterday, which was Wednesday, and of course this is live, so it was actually, I have had my youngest granddaughter because her mum had a hospital appointment. But then we did manage, well I say I had her, all three of us went together because I drove. And I sat, you know, with my granddaughter while Mum was in at the appointment. And then we did a bit of sneaky shopping. Okay, so as you can see, we've got nice alternate. It goes coffee, cream, coffee, cream, coffee. We've got our 5 signatures. And that is quite a lot of journal space. Look at that. This is where I suppose I should check my spine lengths. So yeah, that's going to be lovely. Okay, and of course we've got 5 5s is 25 times 4. It's 100 pages in this journal. Okay. No, 200. because 5, let's count them. I'm sure it's 200. 2, 4, 6, 8. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 is 20, 40, 60, 80. I was right, it's 100. I was right. Okay, we are on 11 o'clock. We have done an hour's crafting. We are now going for a coffee break, and I will see you back here at 11:15. So anybody that's not been with us so far and suddenly looks to see what's going on, we better write them a message, hadn't we? And we'll put coffee break back at 11:15. There you go. And I will leave that there. I will leave obviously the camera running so that we don't have to upload several videos. See you very soon. And I'll clear up this plaster of Paris because we don't need this anymore. And we don't need that bottle. Okay. Okay, so I'm back. We'll keep that so that we can add our lunch break, whoops, on the back of it later on. And let's do a bit more. So I'm going to take the signatures out of the way for the time being. I'm taking another piece of this thicker paper. Excuse me. That's my coffee, isn't it? Let's move that over there a bit. You don't necessarily need to be staring at that. Now I'm going to make a folded envelope that most of you will have seen many times. So I've taken the A4 piece and I've folded a little bit over 2/3, and then I'm going to put my nail about 1 centimetre above, because I don't want for that to meet exactly, because I want space for my envelope. So you can see there's a space there. But before we seal it up, I want to do some things to it. I want to put the last little piece of this lace on here for decoration. Also the weight that will hold it down. But I'm also going to give us some hinges so that this envelope, what's the word that I'm looking for? This envelope has, you know, expansion in it. So the first thing I'm going to do is take my metal ruler. I'm going to line this up on my board so I can see where I am. And my ruler measures 2.5. So if I go to 5 centimetres and I tear, and then I'm gonna go again, because we also need one either side, so 5 centimetres again. This is just the same coffee dye paper that we had for our signatures. And then line it up with my envelope. Put my ruler on my envelope and tear across there. There's a spare piece. This one at exactly the same height. And bring this across and tear there. Okay, and then to get our gusset, all I'm going to do is fold this in half like so, and then fold each piece back to the fold to fold it in half again. Okay, so you're creating like a concertina. I didn't wash my hands because hubby was in the shower, and we all know what happens, you know, that makes the shower go freezing cold. So I've still got plaster all over my hands. But I did get half a cup of coffee, as you can see, and I'm sure you probably heard me padding around because my phone does pick up all the surrounding noise for some reason. So okay, once you've got that, you will have a big M or a W, whatever. Okay, so that's side one. We're going to do exactly the same for side two. and then turn it over again and fold it back the other way. I'm sure you've seen me do this before. And then if we open this back out, I always do that. I always cut it to the back, not to the front, but we can trim it off afterwards. Now what you need to make sure is that you haven't got an M now, you've got a W, because you want the fold to be on the outside. Okay, now where's my small bottle of glue? So if you take your glue and run it down that side like that, line this right up to the edge. Oops. Just turn it over and check that it's right on your edge, and then do the other one, making sure again that the fold is on the outside. Like so. Okay, then we'll turn it over. So remember to measure your paper to your smaller flap, not your bigger flap. What is it your mum used to say? Do as I say, not as I do. Okay, and now glue this piece and this piece both at the same time. Like so. And then tuck it in and press it down either side. And then what you've done is you've created, I mean obviously that glue's not quite dry yet, but you have created an expanding pocket with yeah, with your sides. Like that. Yeah. For some reason this side is it's obviously got a bit of glue on it. There you go. Okay. So that will expand like that, and it gives you a lot more room than you would normally have. Now if you'd like to, you can obviously round your corners. I'm not going to do that. I am just going to trim off this lace. This was a dress, so it's got a collar edge. So I'm just going to trim that off. On all three sides. So obviously the sleeve and the collar area of the dress, they're all rubbish. And then this piece, because we've now got that straight line, this piece is going to hang, let me see, do I want it there? Do I want it in the middle? Do I want it that side? Obviously the choice is yours. In the meantime, just find my foam folder, which for some reason, there it is, and just give this a permanent fold there. That's better, isn't it? Right. Now, where do I want this piece? I think I want it there, like that. So what I'll do is position it on there. I'm going to trim that bit off. What's that weird bit there? Okay, so first of all, just going to have a little bit of glue there. Oh no, I've missed, hang on, I've missed a bit of collar there. There we go. I bet that glue's dry now, isn't it? No, no, I think we might be alright. And then I'm just going to run the glue basically round the shape of that piece of lace. So there. Across there. And then across there like that. We've got a little piece here that we want to trim off, and that is just going to add enough weight for that to be closed in its natural state. Okay, and that will go on the inside of the back cover when we get there later on. So I'm going to set that up there with my spines. Hello Pat, how are you? Sorry darling, I'm not looking at the screen as often as I should. Are you okay? So now I want to work on the inside front cover, because we've done the envelope for the back. So for the front, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a different kind of pocket. Again, it's a pocket that you will have seen many times, I have no doubt. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to create this to go that way. So if you fold your paper not in half like this, okay, and then because of the raggedness of everything, I want to tear. So I'm going to tear here, coming up into a bit of a diagonal, like that. So almost a sort of triangle. They're not really a lot of good, so we can get rid of those. And then this one, I'm going to come round and I'm just going to tear a little bit shorter than the one that's there. Sorry, I can't quite get my hand over this, so it's a little bit weird looking. But what this is going to do is it's going to allow us to have a double pocket. You see, because we've got two, and the easiest way with that is to apply some ink, and of course I have got my ink here, so there we go. And get up another messy mat, and I'm going to ink round all of this. Now if you want to ink the, get rid of my bracelet, the first envelope, then obviously you can. That's entirely up to you. Now, as I say, I'm intending for this to be a blank journal, so I'm not. You have saved me from the dreaded housework. Good excuse to stop and have a cup. Oh, I love it, Pat. Yeah, I mean, you know, crafting is so much more important than housework, isn't it? If I actually stare far enough down the room, I can see into my kitchen where there's a giant pile of washing up. Am I bothered? Bothered not. I'm doing what I'm doing. That washing up will still be there this afternoon. So, you know, I'll deal with that later. I've got dinner cooking though. I've put some pork in the slow cooker. So we can have pulled pork later on. Right. Okay. Oh, look at that. How stupid am I? I think the wrong side. You knew that, didn't you? Why didn't somebody type it in the comments? Claire, you're inking the wrong side. Oh, dear. Oh, well, never mind. It's only a bit of ink. That's better. Now, obviously, right, I've just got to say goodbye to hubby. See you later, babe. Be safe. Obviously, oh, and there's Boo having a little go. Hello, Boo. We all know you're up there. I totally lost my train of thought now. Oh, yeah. Obviously, we can't put these in yet because we need to wait for our front and back covers to dry. Shall we do it as I've got it here? Shall we ink this one? Boom, Mummy's doing a video. I won't mind. She's upstairs laying on my bed. She doesn't really care what's going on. So we just put a little bit of ink around here just because, well, it's here and we can, so why not? So yeah, these obviously can't go in till our back covers are dry. So the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how I, there you go, we just got a little bit of colour on there now, haven't we? How I'm going to attach these signatures to this, this fabric spine. So we need our spines, and remember we've got 3 of them, and each one is 2 pieces of torn fabric. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we've got 5 signatures, so I'm going to put a good sort of crease there so that I can see that's the middle. Okay, and I'm going to take a pencil and I'm going to put a line there, and then we want 2 either side, so you can use your ruler if it makes you happy, and we can line that up there, and we can go 1/2 centimetre there, and then we can go 1/2 centimetre there, and we can do the same thing, 1/2 centimetre, 1/2 centimetre. Okay, so that's 1. Exactly the same process on all 3. So we've got pencil line there, suppose I could do that, it would make it easier, wouldn't it? 1/2 centimetre, 1/2 centimetre, 1/2 centimetre. Oh, that one's slightly off, but anyway. 1, 2, 3. Okay. And then the last one is this one here. And open that out. Put our centre line. And then 1/2 centimetre, 1/2 centimetre, 1/2 centimetre, 1/2 centimetre. Okay, so that's all 3 done. Now I need to find a needle, whoops, and some waxed yarn, but for some reason I've lost my awl. I say I've lost it. It fell down the back of the cupboard the other day, and I didn't manage to find where it had fallen. So it's hidden around the back of my desk somewhere. So we're going to have to make do with our needle. So first things first. Here's all our signatures, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm going to put, you know how to do this, I know you do, but I don't usually use these. I usually use a giant paper clip. But they obviously fell out. Oh, look, that's quite a nice size, isn't it? They obviously fell out along with my the other day. It's a pain in the bottom. But, so, make sure it's nicely together. And pop some kind of binder to hold it. Now, rather than the usual way of, where did that thing go? Because it's a bit longer than the needle, it's going to make it a bit easier. There you go. These are actually upholstery pins. Well, that takes me back a few years. Right, so as always, I'm going to start in the middle. But this is a double 3-hole, so we want 2 there, 2 there, and 2 there. So start in the middle and just slide a little way, not far. Okay, so we've got hole 1, and then on the centre again, but just down a little bit. Probably, what is that? About 1/2 centimetre, I think. So that we've got a double hole. Then go to the top like you normally would, and again it's 1, and then again come down about 1/2 centimetre and go through again. Okay, that one's slightly less than 1/2 centimetre, but and then do the same at the bottom. So where you'd normally put your 3 holes to sew your 3-hole pamphlet, we've actually got 6. So we could go through and do them all, but I'm going to do them one at a time. So 1, 2, 3, snip, thread. Right, now as always, I'm going to start inside, well not always because sometimes that's going to start inside, and I'm going to start at the middle. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through one of the holes, doesn't really matter which one, and I'm going to come back in the very next one. However, you would like to have your fabric attached to that. Oh, Claire. So take both of them, go, you know, down a bit, come through about 1/2 centimetre, which hopefully is about the length of your pencil line, and come back through. Okay, like so. And what you should have is that. Okay, then go up to the bottom of your top holes, like so. Again, we're on the middle, so the bottom of your hole, come back through, not your hole, your pencil mark, come back through the top of your pencil hole and come back through your second hole. Now, you may be saying, but why, Claire? Why are we doing two? The reason we're doing two is because these are only fabric and we want them to be nice and strong. Now, as you always would, all the way down to the end. Okay. Through your remaining one at the bottom, and then back through at the top, like so, back through your hole, like that. Okay, so you should have two at the bottom, two in the middle, and two at the top, like that. Ta-da! And then you're back through. Okay, this is going to be exactly the same as we always do it, except this time what you're going to do is go through that hole there, but not through the fabric. So just through the hole, and then come down and go back through your centre hole as you always do. Okay, make sure you got one on each side as always. Give it a nice tug, make sure it's nice and tight, but not so tight that you've screwed all your fabric up. Okay, take your clip off and tie. And I'm going to go along and I'm going to do that to all five. And then if you just fold your papers over like that and just give them a little fold. Okay, so there is the first one, which is actually in the middle. So open up your fabrics. Okay, you're going again 1, 2, 3 into our needle. So this is obviously old hat to people that are used to journal making, but it's a necessary process. So take the next one, do exactly the same thing. Find your centre. Right, now the only thing is now You obviously need your papers to be level. So take your pencil and 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And this time I'm going to make a little hole on the wrong side. That way I know where they need to be. And then when we turn it over, we can make a proper hole. So turn it over. You see you've got your marks. Go through with your whatever. You will probably be using an awl and doing it properly, unlike me. For some reason that one's gone a bit weird. Right, okay, and then throw this one. Sorry, I know I'm not really very talkative. It's because I'm just thinking about what I'm doing. So I suppose really this should be much more of a craft along than a tutorial. And then exactly the same process. So through one of our middle holes. We don't want our threads the same length, Claire. Okay. Through one of our middle holes. Through the bottom, because we did the bottom hole. Like that. Through the top hole. Like that. Back down our hole. Oh, that one has not come out in the centre, by Jove. Now it has. Right. Okay. We'll pull that through, we don't need that much. Out of there. It's the most undainty thing to do, isn't it, really? Bottom, because we're on the bottom. Then the top. Then the top. Okay. Give it a little tug. Make sure it's all nice and tight. And then all the way down to the bottom. I've done the top hole, so we do the top of the mark. I've just realised I'm off screen. Is that better? Yeah. And then there. Back through that hole. I'm hoping I only went off screen for a little minute because nobody screamed at me. Okay, pull that nice and tight. And then remember, we're going out of that hole, but not through the fabric. We're going all the way up to that centre hole and back through and pull. Okay, pull that one. Pull that one. Should have put one on either side first. I thought I'd already done that. Right, just give it another little tug, and then tie it up as usual. 1, 2. They go down, that comes off, give it a little fold. Okay, so now we'll do the third one. And you can see you've just got these little stitches in there, okay? So the next one. Them up. I feel like I'm probably one of the most boring people to craft with, because I get so focused on what I'm doing, I don't really say anything. And yet normally I don't stop talking. Crazy. If you're with me face to face, trust me, you won't get an word in edgeways, because I don't stop yakking, as my mum would say. Right. So, oh, that one's gone slightly off. There we go. Hold there. Hold there. Oh, that one didn't even make it through to the middle. There it is. Because I stabbed my finger, so I know that's there. And that one. Right. There we go. So then we go in through there. And through there. I really must find that all. It would make life so much easier. Oh, goodness me. For some reason, it doesn't want to come through there. And then that one. Okay. Oh no. Oh no, there it is. I thought I'd lost my needle. So, 1, 2, 3. I know it's getting boring now, isn't it? But it's got to be done. This is the last one on this side, and then we'll just do the 2 on the other side. So, through the bottom, where a little mark. And back through the top. Down our hole. Does that come out in the middle? Perfect. So give that a nice little yank, and then we go in to our top of the bottom 2, so the one nearest the middle. We go into the top of that mark. And then to the bottom of that mark. back through there, down through that hole. Okay. Now, before we go mixing it all up, let's tighten it. Okay. Up to the top. Top little hole, bottom I mean of the mark. Out of the top of the mark, through our hole. Okay. Out of this one. Now I know the other two we did the bottom, this one we did the top. It makes no difference whatsoever. All the way along without going through the fabric, back down that centre hole. Oh, except that's gone astray. For some reason it's missing. There it is. Right, come through. Give it a tug. Poke it to the other side. Needle out. Pull tight. Pull tight. And nice big knot. And another one. That goes down there, that comes up there. Give these a little fold. So that's all of that side done. So now we're going to turn it over. Don't worry that these are a bit screwed up. And we're going to do the other side. Okay, so we've got two more to go on this side. Are you still with me, or have you lost it? Needle alert. Right. 1, 2, 3. Whoops. 4, 5, 6. Turn it round. For some reason that one went through, but that one didn't. No, it did. Okay, turn it over. Oh, what happened there? That's a bit weird. Right, so we've got hole 1, hole 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. One, 2, 3. We're on the home straight, girls. We're on the home straight. So into the middle. Right, get our fabric in that hole there, and then back up the other side of your pencil mark, like so. Back down our hole. Okay, get rid of that a bit of hair. Just pull that a bit tight, and then I'm going up to the top. See, I've gone back to the top now. It really doesn't matter which way round you do it. You can do top or bottom, as with a normal 3-hole. It doesn't matter which way you work. Just make sure that when you're travelling back down, you're not doing it through the fabric. That's the only thing. Okay, and then that goes down there. Okay, we go all the way to the bottom or the top, depending on which way round you have done it. Through your fabric. Through your fabric. Through the hole. Okay. And back out of that hole. Without the fabric. Give it a nice little tug. No, I've got to stand it up. And then through there. And through there. Okay, let's give it a tug. Give it a tug. Ah. Now, if you do what I've done and you split your linen, look, you see I've stitched through that. Just literally put your needle in there and pull it off. Then you will be able to tie it. But all the time they're attached, you won't be able to tie it. Okay, nice and tight. 1, 2, and this is our last one. So we just bend it over, give it a press, just so that it's there. Right, and there's all our, look, signatures here. There's 4 of them. And we're just going to do the 5th one now. And these are obviously going to go attached to our covers. A little bit of coffee. It's amazing. I keep talking, of course. Makes you a little bit throat dry. Right. Last one. I'm sure when this is on record version, many people, no, you're not boring, Claire, but laugh out loud, boy, Bet you're cursing under your breath. The needle. Actually, not cursing, Pat. It's just a case of, you know, am I being really boring to others? Is this really what they want to see? That's all. But no, I mean, if you lovely guys weren't here, I'd be doing exactly the same thing. So it's just sort of sharing what I'm doing. I think it doesn't matter how much experience you've got. Sometimes it's nice to see a different way that other people work. You know, it is what it is. 1, 2. Oh, see again, for some reason, the middle one has not played ball and gone through. Naughty middle. Naughty boy. Sorry. That's a friend of mine says that a lot. She says that a lot. Right. Oh, okay, that is it. That's the last one. So 1, 2, 3. Now I thought that all of this was going to take an awful lot longer than it has. It's amazing, isn't it? I don't know if that's because you're keeping me company or if my time estimates are rubbish. But I know that when I sit down at my table on my own, when I look up, it's like, where's all that time gone? I've only been here 5 minutes. But obviously that's not true, is it? And yet today, with your lovely company, it feels like I'm getting lots more time. Right, that goes in there, that goes in there. No, I've got to stand it up. Has that gone in? Has that gone in? Yes, it has. Pull that through. Ignore that bit of fabric. Like that. Right. We go up to the top because that's what we started with. Yeah, I can imagine when this is on the recorded version, it's just going to get completely fast forwarded once you've seen the first signature. That's absolutely fine by me, no problem at all. I can understand if you don't want to watch the same thing being done 5 times. That is one of the downsides of being live. Right, give it a little tug, make sure it's tightish. And then we're going, I'm trying to show you, but I know it's a bit difficult, all the way down to the bottom, through the fabric, back through, into the signature, back out that same hole, no fabric, all the way to the middle. Yes. Okay, needle off, needle in top of bottle. Right, let's give this a nice tighten. No, see now I've gone through the thread again, so simply find the thread before you went through and just separate it again. There you go. No need to go panic. Okay. Pull, pull, pull. 1, 2. Get rid of that. There we go. Now, because I've screwed them up so much, so we've got all these strings. Now, I'm not going to put dangles on, so I'm going to cut them all short like that. Obviously, if you wanted to put dangles on, you could. And one of the beauties of doing this is, look how it moves, and that means that when you open it, it opens completely flat. Look, completely flat. It's beautiful. That's why I love this. Now I'm just going to quickly get my craft iron up and straighten these out a bit, because these are a little bit sad to say the least. Look at them. So heat this up. And I just want to iron them a bit flat where they've got completely screwed up. Now I know you probably can't see that. Oh, actually, yes you can. Just want them flat, not screwed up. I mean, you're not ironing, you know, Hubby's best interview shirt or anything. Just a little bit, so they flatten out. Okay, so we've basically spent an hour subbing signatures and making 2 pockets. Okay, there you go. They are now, apart from that one got bent in the turnover. Okay, perfect, that's better. Right, we can turn that off. It's now 12:15. We've been here for an hour. Pardon my chair. So we are going to go on lunch break, and I am going to go and see how our covers are drying, in the hope that when we come back we can put our signatures into our covers. So we just write a note for anyone that pops in and doesn't know what's going on, that we are on lunch break. Oh, break. Goodness me. Back. Back at, we'll have half hour, shall we? 12:45. There you go. So, go and have something to eat, get yourself a coffee, stretch your legs, and I'll see you in half an hour. Bye for now. Well, I hope you're all refreshed. You've had a little wander around, stretched your legs, had something to eat, and you're ready to go again. Now, I've got to admit that there's been a failure in the planning here, because our front cover, whilst it looks pretty awesome, is still wet. So we're going to have a part 2 to this. I think it's going to need at least 24 hours, so I think we'll come back and have part 2 on Saturday. And I think the easiest way is that I'll leave a message at the end of this, so it's obvious to everybody that there is a part 2 if people only find it on the recording. And yeah, we'll come back Saturday, probably live about 4 o'clock, and we'll go from there. But we have got our back cover dry, so we can deal with our back cover. So I'll put that out of the way on the floor. I don't know if you heard, but I did try to artificially dry it with the heat gun, but it was having none of it. Right, okay, so we've got our back cover, so that goes that way. And this is the pocket that is going to fit on there. So you see, we don't actually need an inner page, because this is going to fit on there exactly. Obviously, you could add more decoration if you wanted to. This is the one for the front cover, which we'll have to keep for Saturday. But before we put our envelope on, we need to put our signatures in. So we need to remember that this is the back. So our signatures are going to go on like this. Okay. So if we do it that way, it becomes a little bit more obvious. And because of the way this book works, if you splay it out, you'll see that we can put one there, and one there, and then we can put our envelope on the top. So we're going to apply PVA. Oh, I've left my paintbrush in the kitchen. Oh, that's annoying, isn't it? Okay, well, we'll use a spreader. So we're going to apply our PVA like this, and we are going to flip that over one at a time is fine, and we are going to stick that down like that. Realistically, this is sort of how commercial books are made, because each signature is stitched to like a bias binding, and then the bias binding is glued to the cover, and then they cover it all up with one of those dust sheets. Just make sure that you've got it straight, and that you have definitely got it, your book block of signatures, outside of the cover. Okay, you can check that by standing it up. So I'm going to glue here, and lay down the first one. Again, stand it up if you want to make sure. And I know you can see that because the camera's overhead. A bit more glue. And lay the second one on top. Now you could put one on the outside and one on the inside if you wanted to, but we've already decorated our cover, and the decoration is not the style to have a tab on the outside, so I've done them both on the inside. It's entirely up to you. And obviously when I come back on Saturday, we will put the front cover on in exactly the same way. So, you know, if you're busy, you don't have to watch Saturdays. By me putting this one on, you can see how it works. Apply that one to there like so. Excuse me. And if I lift my cover up, I don't want to close it because obviously it's all very gluey. We can see that there is no resistance. That closes in there very, very happily. Okay, let go of it. It will lift it up, but that's fine. I've just noticed there's obviously not much glue at that end. Right, okay, now we're going to put this on here like this. Okay, so I want this to stand up. So what I'm going to do is take my little tower of drawers and I'm going to stand that. No, I'm not, because I need, where is the clip that I was using when I was stitching? Is that still here or has that vanished? It's just they're going to fall over, so I'm going to have to hold it. Let me move more into the table. That would help, wouldn't it? There you go, more into the table. Oh, here it is. I didn't think I'd put it away. I thought it had to be here somewhere. My heart missed a beat then. The postman's just put something through the letterbox and I thought, Boo, there you go. I thought Boo was going to start barking. Okay, so we've now got our envelope and this is going to sit on there like that. It's going to hold in our straps and it's going to cover up the remaining area of the cardboard. So I'm going to use my small bottle now because this is the Elmer's glue in here and it just is not as wet somehow as PVA, and I don't really want this envelope curling up. So you will notice that this book has not got a closure. It's got all that decoration on the front, which is going to be really heavy, so it's a closure's not really necessary, I don't think. If you wanted a closure, you could definitely add one as like an after, so you could add, like, you know, lace or sari silk or a ribbon or whatever. Get it positioned. Once you're happy it's positioned, get it stuck down. Okay, and there is our back cover. Right, I feel like I need a little bit extra glue just under this corner here. So a little bit of extra glue under there and a little bit extra under this top. Just there. There we go. And there's our pocket with its gusset, nice and big, and there's its flap with the lace on. I'm still not going to shut it because I feel like there's still tackiness on those, can move that down, on those tabs, so I really don't want to shut it. Whoops, got semi stuck to there. But if I do it very quickly so you can see, this is what, when it's stuck properly, that's what it looks like. And then obviously we'll have the front cover on as well. Okay, so that is as far as we can go for today. I hope you found some joy and inspiration with this project that we've done, and I will be back at 4 o'clock on Saturday so that we can get finished. So I'm just going to write a little note that part 2, 4 p.m. Saturday. Now what will the date be? Today's 23rd, 25th. Saturday 25th of November. There you go. Turn it that way because we know the camera's a bit weird. Thank you so much for those of you that have been here and had a little chat with me. Stay safe. I'll see you very soon. Bye bye for now.